violence against women. That was the summer that that guy went into a gym, into like an aerobics class and shot up, like just killed a bunch of women for no reason. And I pored over his diaries that were published on the internet, and I tried to see if I could rearrange that into a poem. And I also used, it was the same summer that a bunch of people were, again, talking about, I don't know how you guys feel about Roman Polanski, but I think he's a rapist. I know, I mean, he is one. So, and people were, again, mounting this, you know, public debate about, oh, let's bring him back and pardon him and let's have him come to America. And so I tried to rearrange the text of that as well into a poem. So, yeah, I'm interested in subverting the discourse by, you know, with the tools of the vocabulary that we've been given.
So, I mean, I think for me, and my life is very different. At least my social structure is very different now than it was when I was a teenager. I went to, you know, all boys school for 6 years. So most of my friends were my, you know, classmates. And, you know, now I really don't hang out with many men at all. And it's really interesting how different the conversations are. Because often, you know, when you're around a bunch of men, and even in the rare occasion that a bunch of men get together and actually talk about masculinity, like, which is rare. That's one thing. I always go to school and I say, how often do you talk about what it's like to be a man with like other children, other boys your age? And it's like, man, we don't talk about that, which is sort of, you know, the big issue. So thinking about that, I just had to like stop and start combing through my mind and say, well, how much of the stuff that, you know, that I believe about my masculinity are those things I actually believe, or those things that I have been, you know, that I've inherited, that I picked up along the way, and just like I have this assumed masculinity versus constructed masculinity. And then going back through it, I was like, holy crap, like I don't believe most of this stuff. And so that's when I started working on this new project, Panzerhers, which is the manuscript where I'm deconstructing my own masculinity. And it's important that I sort of make that distinction, that it's my masculinity. Like it's so broad. Like, I don't think anyone could sort of deconstruct masculinity. Like, this is just me looking at, you know, how I've moved through the world with this gender role in this body. And yeah, I mean, I just think, I mean, there are people doing this, you know, Ross is doing it, Dinesh is doing it, Douglas Brown is doing it. You know, Tony Hoagland is doing it, so although there are other issues with Tony Hoagland.